Hey, what's up, guys? Larry here from Skeleton Crew Collectibles. We're just gonna go over kind of what I've collected, my humble collection here that I've gotten. I don't have anything ridiculous. I don't have anything big. I actually haven't opened as much as you would think, despite of what I'm gonna show you. I think I've bought bulk collections more than anything. But more than anything, let's get into it and let's just kind of go over what I have so far since I started collecting this year. And the first things I'm going to show off are, and you'll see there's a little bit of a method to my madness, but I have other binders, and I'll kind of tell you what takes priority first. So the first part is I like to put myself in the universe of it. So if I were to be a trainer in this universe, what would be my six Pokemon that I'd battle and compete with, and that's gonna be here. So it's gonna be my favorite card for each of them that I have. Arcanine being my favorite Pokemon, Blastoise being my favorite starter, and then I just kind of went just diversify my team. I don't have one of them, as you can see. If you want to take a guess at what that is, let me know. If you see if anyone can guess that. But yeah, and this is my Arcanine here, a promo that I found at my comic book shop, or a comic book shop that I used to go to. I found it and I really liked and this is actually my first Arcanine card that I ever had. So yeah, I didn't have one as a kid. I didn't have that much as a kid either, and you'll see as they go. But this would be my team, right? Arcanine would cover my fire, Blastoise would cover my water. Corviknight is more kind of travel by air, but an aerial piece to it. Mudsdale would be my travel by ground, but I just think he's just built ridiculous. He's built as a draft horse, he's the draft horse Pokemon, which I think is pretty cool. And Luxray is the electric. I have Mewtwo down here too, because if I were to have a legendary, if I were to be lucky enough to even try and catch one, I'd want Mewtwo, but that's obviously wouldn't happen. But that would be my guy, and he'd probably replace this guy here. So that's kind of a hint at what would go there. In these two slots, I have an idea. There was a post I saw, someone put like a picture here, and I think I'm gonna do something similar, but we'll go there. That's just gonna be filler, really. And then let's go ahead and go into it. So like I said in my channel video, I got into Pokemon because of TCG Pocket, and then around the time that the McDonald's promos came out, when I would take my daughter to get a Happy Meal, she loves fries, so every time she would see a McDonald's, she wanted fries, and we'd get her a Happy Meal, and then that's where I kind of started collecting these. The only one that I wasn't able to collect was Charizard. Every single one I pulled, except for that Charizard, so I had to grab that one on my own. And then we'll have filler here that I have an idea for it. I have an idea for here. And we'll see what I do here. I think I have an idea as well, so hopefully by the next binder update video, we'll have this filled out, or I might just even make a video for what I do with these filler areas. Then we go into my Japanese section, and this is kind of the only Japanese that I have, although I might expand on this. I've bought all these singles through eBay or TCG Player, and it started with this card here. I actually bought two of these, and actually let me grab that real quick. But I bought two of these because, like I said, I have my daughter, and there was here's the other one. I have it here. I'm kind of building a small collection for my daughter as well. She loves Pikachu, so any Pikachu that I kind of come across, I'm throwing it in here. Reverse holos and just regulars as well. And then I have Vulpix because my wife loves Vulpix. So any type of Vulpix I'll throw in here as well. Just kind of have that together. Nothing big. But like I said, something that kind of struck me as a new parent was realizing that my daughter is kind of like growing, right? She's 2.5 right now, almost 3, I guess. And you know, she's picking up words, she's picking up songs and singing and repeating a lot of the things that we say. And I mean, this was maybe about a year ago where she pointed to the night sky and she said stars. And it was just kind of like a moment for me that I was just like, wow, she's understanding the word, not just regurgitating what we say, you know? Or like, twinkle, twinkle, little star, you know? It's just kind of that. And something that I've noticed is that she mentions the stars a lot. She mentions the moon a lot. So I'm hoping that we can kind of learn astronomy and kind of do a hobby of that together along with maybe Pokemon. Hopefully it's an interest of hers. But yeah, that's why I bought. I was looking for the US version, but I found 2 Japanese copies for the same price. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger, and I just thought this was a beautiful card. So I got 2 of those, and I'm holding one for her for when she gets a little older. And yeah, I think that's like, honestly, I think this is the most beautiful card out there. I know there's a lot of people that like the Poly World and other cards, but that night sky, that shooting star, the reflection, this Cleffa is amazing. And for this Japanese page, that's kind of what this is. It's kind of a theme for each line. We have the Cleffa, which I think is the most beautiful. We have the Mewtwo where he's over the city, which I think is the coolest card, the coolest one out there. And then the coolest concept is this Mr. Mime's Wounds, which I think is such an underrated card. People don't like Mr. Mime. I'm not I'm not a big fan of Mr. Mime as well, but come on, you got 3 Mr. Mimes at a park playing chess. You know, all 3 mimes know what piece he's moving, where the pieces are, what pieces have been taken, who's close to checkmate. Which also my dad wants to learn chess, so I thought that was just kind of cool, kind of connected with me as well. And yeah, so I think these are just like my 3 favorite cards probably out of everything so far. The fact that they were pretty cheap, I was super happy with that. And then we go into like 3 jungle cards from Gen 1, Arbok, Nidoking, Ninetales, which this one was really beautiful as well. I can pull that one out. I mean, look at that's got to be up there too. Surprises me that like there's other cards that go for more when there's such beautiful ones that are pretty cheap. And then we got this line here. We got Mudsdale, Miltank, and Hops Wooloo, which one thing that we want to aspire for, like my wife and I, is we want to have like a pretty decent sized property at a point and have maybe a horse or 2, a couple sheep. I grew up having sheep. Not a farm. I don't know about a cow, but it kind of fit the theme of like farm animals. So I went with those 3, which honestly, I'm sorry guys, my allergies are kicking my butt. So such an amazing card too. That spread, what I do to that? What I'd do to get that spread in front of me? It'd go hard. And this is a cool card too. I love open fields. People love the beach. People love the forest. I love an open field. I mean, just chilling out there on a beautiful day. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Kiki's. Oh, there's a little bit of speck in there. Kiki's delivery service at the very beginning where she's just hanging out, laying down on a field. Oh, man, with that breeze, just moving the grass. So my next theme would be kind of hobbies that I'm into. So we got, I'm not a fan of these 2 Pokemon, but and let me zoom in a little bit here just so. I'm not a fan of these 2 Pokemon that much, but I really liked the drawing on the card, the illustration. I mean, camping with the Charger Bug would be pretty sweet. You don't have to worry about electricity, but man, we haven't gone camping in a while. Would really love to go camping again. And then Revavroom and Varoom. I'm not a fan of the design, but the card, like, come on. Sign me up, you know. Keep throwing Varoom and Revavroom and illustration rares like this or art rares like this. I'll be a fan each time. You know, throw a super in the background or a Land Cruiser, a Subi, something. And then here I have this card. It goes with this one, so if you know what card goes with here, then you know what card goes here. It's just I haven't been able to pull on it because that's been the only one that's been pretty pricey compared to the rest of these. And then we go what I started to collect when I first kind of got back into it, was dog Pokemon. So here we have Rockruff, Houndour, Growlithe, Stoutland, and then these were the bigger evolutions, right? The stage 1 or 2 with the trainer alongside, and I thought that was a kind of cool concept. There's a bunch of cards like that, so I might turn this into a whole page. We'll see. We'll kind of give it a little bit, but that's my Japanese page. And then we go into some that I've pulled or bought, that I pulled on my own, and that's why you can see that I haven't pulled too much. And it's just the cards that I like to. If it's an illustration rare or something that I'm not too fond of, I won't keep it. I might move it to try and get a card that I do want. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of keeping the ones that I like that I've pulled, and that's what's going to be going here. We got Joltik, Infernape. This Marnie's Morpeko is sweet. The lights, the colors of the lights on the back. Such a good card. And the Orbeetle that I pulled on my channel video. I have this Kirlia here. This was actually a gift from my buddy. That's why if you see anything with the purple sleeve, that was a gift from my buddy. So I know the line for this Kirlia to the Gardevoir like tells a story, so I'm gonna have to try and pull those or collect those so I could complete that. Sorry, excuse me there. And then I just give myself room to, as I open packs, just start filling out. And then here what I want to do is I want to have a page of my crew here. So it'll be, aside from my favorite Arcanine, it'll be 9 more Arcanine that I like, 9 more Blastoise. I started Corviknight, which actually, that's a reverse holo, so then this is just the base. And as I upgrade them, I'll start moving it around. So if I find a Corviknight that I like better, I'll move it here, and then I can go ahead and plug the reverse holo over here, and just, it'll be 9 of my favorite Corviknights, 9 of my favorite mystery Pokemon. Now I want to see if you guys can take a guess there. Luxray, Mudsdale, and then I'm gonna do actually 18 Mewtwo's, which here I started. This isn't an actual card, this is a fan art card that my buddy found, and it was really cool, and he gave that to me, and I was like, okay, that's sweet. I mean, man, some of these fan art cards are just so much better sometimes too. But yeah, that was a cool one. I wish I knew who the artist was, but we don't, so that's just kind of there. And then I want to do the legendary birds and the legendary beasts. So right now I just have Zapdos and Entei, but ideally the thing would be 3 Articunos, 3 Zapdos, 3 Moltres, 3 Enteis, Suicunes, and Raikous. And we'll go from there. So you're gonna see that a lot of it's kind of incomplete. You'll see my other binders, and then we'll just go into random miscellaneous Pokemons and stuff that I like. So you see this one has the red sleeve. So if it's a red sleeved card, this is actually from my childhood. I had this when I was a kid, when Pokemon was barely popping off. And I have Kingdra, which goes into my Mandela effect. And let me know if you guys, let me know. I can't be the only one where I literally thought I was a Gen 1er. Like, I was like, I only know Gen 1 Pokemon. I don't know anything besides Gen 1, unless if they're like super big. Yet I have a Kingdra card, Gen 2. I remember Donphin in the first movie, while the credits are running. Um, Ash battles a Donphin, which I think is cool, which I really like this card. This Donphin is, I think, a sweet. I like action photos. I like the detail on this one. Such a cool card. So yeah, it's a little Mandela effect where I do know past Gen 1. I just don't know how far past Gen 1 I do know. I want to show off this one. I think this is such a cool Buffalent. The storm in the background. You got the sun breaking through the clouds. Yet lightning as well striking. And he's just out there like on top of a rock. Such a cool card. Such awesome artwork. So these are just kind of art or Pokemon that I like. Ninetales, I think is a cool Pokemon. Stantler and Sawsbuck. I knew Stantler. I didn't know Sawsbuck. That was the first time I knew Sawsbuck. I knew Noctowl. I didn't know Decidueye. But I like the owl theme. Alakazam was one of them that I thought was kind of cool. Infernape, Braixen. I don't know if I pronounced that. Braixen, I would say. There's a Digimon that kind of reminds me of this, but. And then this one just kind of gives like, this is your sorcerer and your party type vibe. I like the concept of Pessimian. There's going back to the ones that I said about the trainers with the dogs. These, I know there's one with Pessimian training with his trainer, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I wanna get that card. I might get it in Japanese. Zeraora, Zoroark, and I like this concept for like these two, or not these two, but like I like it when Pokemon are. Oh, sorry, bumped the mic there. Where you see the city in the background. I think that's super cool. And give me a second, guys. I'm getting a call. All right, guys. So it's Editor Larry here. Apparently, the audio didn't pick up after the call, so I'm gonna do my best to see what I was trying to say here and stuff that I was pointing at. I feel like it's gonna be harder than I think. So I'm picking out Annihilate here. I really like this Annihilate. I like the dark energy around here. It gives me Akuma vibe. Is it Akuma? I'm gonna butcher this. From Street Fighter. I'll put up a picture of him here. I want to say it's Akuma. And then we got Heracross. I really like this Heracross, the way that you see like the I don't know, twigs kind of like flying around, the like actiony. Low Kicks is a Pokemon that was new to me. I didn't know about Low Kicks. Here he's got the Batman vibes over on a building, and then once again we got the city in the background, which I think is also always kind of cool whenever they have the city in the background for Pokemon. And then I'm pointing out Orbeetle here, which I didn't know about Orbeetle, but he looks awesome. I mean, he's out there thugging out with his arms crossed, cool looking ladybug themed Pokemon there. And then I think I point out here that I kind of don't really go for cutesy Pokemons, but you're gonna see a couple here, especially when they evolve into a cooler form at least that I think is a cooler form. So first will be Pancham here, and I really like that one that I just pointed out, where he's kind of like doing his little martial arts, kicking out in the bamboo forest out there. Then we go into Riolu, who I did know about Riolu and Lucario. Pancham and Pangoro were new. I want to say it was Pangoro. I might be butchering that. I can't read from here and I can't remember them exactly. Same thing was with Toxel and Toxtricity. Um, Charcadet kind of falls into the same line with Armor Rouge and Cerulege. And I'm actually a really big fan of Armor Rouge. He kind of he might be a contender for that empty spot if I'm honest. He's competing with who I have in mind to put in that empty spot for my team. I didn't know about Armor Rouge up until I started collecting again this year, and I think all the art so far on the 3 cards that I've been able to find for him are really cool. I googled him, I looked him up. So I want to say he's also a ghost type. So I feel like ghost or psychic. Actually, sorry, I think psychic, and I think that could fall perfectly here. See, I pointed out there. So I don't know. I mean, if they throw out a psychic card for Armor Rouge, he might make the cut. He might actually dethrone whoever I'm thinking there. We got Gyarados, we got Trevenant, which I think is pretty cool. Then we go into some Electabuzzes here, which I want to say, I think I point out I really like this one that I'm pulling out, and you'll see it later again. But I like what I like about electric types is that you have the lightning always kind of going around them. I think that's kind of such a cool thing that they always add to electric types. So I think electric types are cool because of that. Well, not because of that, but they have that to their advantage. I also love Electabuzz's cry. I'll see if I can stitch it here with the sound. So I'll give myself a little break just to put that in there. Hopefully that was a long enough break. And then we got Graveler here. I really like this Graveler card. I actually like Graveler's design better than Golem's. And then we got Pangoro here, which I remember seeing this card on a video once when someone was opening Journey Together, and I was like, what am I looking at here? But now that I have it in my hands, once I had it in my hands, I kind of noticed, okay, he's punching and he's facing down. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you kind of don't know what it is. It's a little tricky. Darkrai is a Pokemon that not that I'm not a fan of, but he never really caught my attention right away. However, when I first saw this card, when I first grabbed it, I really liked it. I really liked the art. I really liked the design. And I actually have another Darkrai card, and I just think they do so well with Darkrai. Of course, I've only seen 2 cards in person, but yeah, and I pointed Hitmonchan there, thinking I just really like Hitmonchan too. So here's the other Darkrai out of a Halloween pack. But yeah, I just really like the Darkrai, the 2 Darkrai designs that I've seen. Throwing in there, what's his name? I'm gonna pull him out here. Cacturn. Just thought that was a kind of creepy vibe, created kind of cool, jack-o'-lantern-y, Halloween-y kind of vibe to it. And then some Pokemon that I didn't know about were Poniard, Bisharp, and King Gambit. I like that it's like 3 stages to the chess set. Sorry about that. You got the Pawn, you got the Bishop, and you got the King, which I actually like Bisharp better than King Gambit, but it might just be the card. I need to look up King Gambit for sure. And then I point out the 2 on the top left, which are actually from the same artist, and I really like that art. So I gotta look into that artist, see if there's more like that. And then yeah, I think what I'm saying here is that those 6 cards take priority, right? So if I find another Arcanine that I like better, I'll fill it in, and then I move that Arcanine elsewhere. The second priority that comes, so like if, for example, that Arcanine, and this only applies to Gen 1 Pokemon, would be moving the Arcanine or something, that priority to the second priority, which is going to be my second binder. And I want to say I should be pulling it up anytime now. I have no clue what I'm rambling on about here. And I'm getting my second binder. Here we go. My second binder is a Pokédex binder. Pokédex binder for Gen 1. However, there's a small twist to it. It looks empty. It looks like I'm have nothing there, but in reality, I'm collecting 3 of every Pokemon. And this is gonna be no regional forms, no Alolands, no Hisuians. I always have a hard time saying that. But yeah, so that first one is gonna be Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and then the first column would be Bulbasaur. The second column would be Ivysaur, and then the third one would be Venusaur. And I'm showing here the card sleeves that I actually had as a kid. My mom actually had bought me these. Talk about, I mean, she's always been great for attention to detail type deals. So she had sleeves. She bought me sleeves for my valuable cards. And I still had a good chunk of those sleeves. So I started sleeving the cards that I had as a child. So like it just kind of went. And I tried looking for those exact sleeves. I couldn't find them, so that's why I went with the other red that I showed earlier. And we'll go on and go to the next one. I thought it was cool that I had the 3 starters. I had Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. And then here I'm showing that, right, so the first column would be all Charmander, second was going to be all Charmeleon, and then the third one will be Charizard. And I was pointing out the Charmeleon there, Blaine's Charmeleon, is just so derpy looking, but I love that art. So I won't replace, if they have the red border, I won't be replacing them as I upgrade them. The idea was that the top row would be all non-hollow variants. The middle one would be either hollow or reverse hollow variants, and then the third row would be full arts or alternate arts, something along those lines. I don't know if I'll follow that or not. I think I will. And yeah, so if they have a red border, they're staying on there. I'm not going to replace that. So like that Caterpie on the first corner, yeah, those aren't being replaced. I'll replace the middle and the bottom one. But if they have a red one, I won't replace it. If they have 2 red ones that don't follow the line, so like the second row being a hollow or a reverse hollow, but I have a red bordered card in there, I'll move that to my miscellaneous once I find the appropriate card. And yeah, so I'm gonna go through that. That Rattata is from my childhood. That's Spearow, and then I want to point out that Fearow. I really liked the design of this Fearow. I know it's simple. I know it's just him flying up, but I really think this art stands the test of time. I think it looks better than even the Fearow below it. I just really like that first gen art. Here I actually like the second Ekans better than the first one, the one on the second row. So whenever I upgrade that, I'll move that first one to my miscellaneous binder, and I will go ahead and move that middle one up. And then right now, as it is right now, I think as long as I have 3 of them, I'm sticking them in there. So like you'll see that with the Ekans, I have 3 different Ekans, although 2 of them don't follow the criteria that I want to do for the second and third row. What I'm explaining here for the Pikachu ones is that I think this Pikachu line isn't going to be touched. I really like that I have those first 2 Pikachus and then that Celebrations Pikachu. So I'm going to leave those 3 there, even though the second one isn't a hollow. And then I'm pointing out this Raichu here. This is one of my first hollows that I have. I think I only had 5 that I was able to salvage. Or not salvage, but that I still had from when I was a kid. That Raichu being one of them, and the condition actually being pretty decent. Surprised about that, honestly. Same here. I think I'm just saying that I'd move that Nidoran up and move the one on the top to my miscellaneous binder. Here's my other hollow. Here's one of my other hollows, 2 out of 5. The Nidoqueen, and you can see this one's a little bit more beat up, but still in decent condition for me being in kinder. Nidorino, I've always liked the art on this card. I like that he's in the canyon. It kind of reminds me of, I mean, I live in a desert. We don't have any canyons, but I live in the desert, and it just always kind of reminded me of that. Here's that Vulpix. I'm gonna move that Blaine's Vulpix up because I really like the design on that card. So of course, yep, I'm bringing it up. I really like this one, and I think it's cooler than the one above. So I'll move that one up, and then I'll move that top one to the miscellaneous binder. I actually pulled that. I know I have it in Japanese, but I pulled that Ninetales in English, and that's the rule here. So everything that fills this binder and my first priority, my first six, are going to be cards that I find in the wild. Either I pull them or I find them in person at a card shop. I can't go specifically buying cards for those. And yeah, actually, so funny thing is, I actually have some cards that aren't English. I do live on a border city, so I'm bordering Mexico, and I thought I did come across one that was Spanish, so I thought, oh, that's interesting. I might have other Spanish cards, but as you can see there, I did the research. It was actually Italian for that one, so crazy. I really like this Dark Gloom. I don't think Gloom is a cool Pokemon, but this is crazy. That I wish they did that. I mean, more often, because that Dark Gloom is sweet. So that one will stay, and then the other one will go to the miscellaneous binder once it gets updated. Here you can see I have a Portuguese Parasect. So I don't know how I came across these. Spanish makes sense, being that I'm bordering Mexico, but Portuguese, Italian, no clue. My thought is that there's a swap meet that I would go to as a kid, that my parents took me as a kid. And here I'm just highlighting that I really like this Diglett. I like the contrast that you can see him just kind of sticking out of the background pretty well, like a thumb. Someone's thumb. Okay, sorry. But yeah, so I think the reason I have some of those different languaged cards are because there was a swap meet that we would go to, El Bronco, and I actually do remember not too long after it popped off, and actually that primate that I'm pointing at, I used as a bookmark in in college. I don't know how I had that card, but I do remember having it as a kid. I just don't know why that one was in my possession as opposed to the other ones that I had to hunt down later. But yeah, going back to the swap meet, when we would go, there was, and here I'm pointing out the Abra, sitting in a field, and I kind of want to start looking for that. I kind of want to make a theme page. Binder would be awesome, but maybe pages of like Pokemon just chilling on a field, the way I've pointed out before. But yeah, then and I pull up actually Spanish Kadabra here. But yeah, so they would rip the packs, and then they would straight up sell the singles, and it just boggles my mind. I really like this Machop. Sorry, I know I keep hopping back and forth between the story and what I'm showing here, but this Machop is probably one of my favorite Machops that I've seen. I really like the way it contrasts as well, and I mean, this is Giovanni's Machop. I want to say it's Giovanni's Machop on the bottom. I'm editing this on my phone, so I would need to zoom in. But yeah, that middle Machop is something that I think is super cool. But yeah, going back to that, it blows my mind that, what am I? Oh, okay. Actually, sorry. I'll finish that story. I promise I will. But what I wanted to show here, which I actually picked the right card, was in Kinder, there was a kid that stole one of my cards after whatever, like when we were showing them to each other, and I remember going back, and my mom just started initially putting my initials on my cards. So you could have seen that there on the Graveler. This Geodude doesn't have it, so I must have acquired that one later. And even though I like Graveler's design better, I really do like that Golem. I think that Golem was designed nicely. And then Yeah, so going back to the story is I find it crazy that even right when Pokemon popped off, there was people that had the insight, or not insight, but like just the salesperson in them to like rip the pack and sell the singles right off the bat. I mean, it's common to see it now the way it is, but to think of that instantly back then. I mean, I know I was a kid, I was in kinder, but yeah, that's crazy. And now back to the original audio. Sorry, I got another call. I really like this Grimer. It kind of goes back to like my that moon, just looking all huge. Dude's just chilling by a garbage can. Mm-mm. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I've never opened an ATB. My buddy that gifted me those two other, the Mewtwo and the was it Krylia, I think. He also he had bought an ETB, so uh, he went ahead and gifted that as well. So I'll be opening that one up next on the channel, and hopefully we can fill out at least the top row is what I'm hoping for. Here's an Italian Krabby that I had apparently. Voltorb, Execute. I like this Cubone. Same concept with the him staring out into the night sky. Marowak, I didn't even apparently was Italian. I didn't even know that. I like this Cubone because it reminds me of TCG Pocket. Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee were two of my favorite Pokemon as well. More Hitmonchan than Hitmonlee, but I think it's Hitmonlee's more popular. Check it out. Here's one of my other hollows. This is the one that's just bad. I'm not even trying to take it out. It's just, if you're familiar with baseball card collector, investor, dealer, that's definitely part of the run over a truck division. I think I'm missing two hollows. Should be coming up. Okay, yeah, for sure one is coming up. Actually, I'm not a fan of Jinx, but I think this one's pretty cool. With like the little lines out there. Like little sidekick lines. I don't know what you call them. I'll pull out one of my Spanish ones. Doble bofetón. Meditación. Hace 20 puntos de daño. I think that's funny now in retrospective. Electabuzz, Magmar, Tauros. That blinks Tauros is nice. He's in a field. Add that one to the on there. Oh, both of them are actually here. Yeah, these are my last two hollows. And actually, they're in pretty decent shape as well. Misty's Gyarados. I actually remember this card from a kid. And then that Lapras is pretty scratched up if I were to remove it from there. But yeah, and then you'll see that I'm missing a good chunk here towards the end. Dratini, Dragonite. Actually, I think my Mewtwo is wrong. I think Mewtwo should be here, and then this is gonna be Mew. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of this. We'll figure it out. I don't have too many pages, so I don't know. I'll see what I do with that. But this takes priority after my first 6. My crew, which leads me to my last binder. Which is what I originally started kind of collecting, which was dog Pokemon. I had this one blank because I thought I had this one in non-reverse, but I don't. So, and I was just too lazy to go back and pull all the cards again. So, when I bought, this was what I was collecting in my first binder, but then I kind of ran out of pages because of all my different subtypes that I'm trying to collect. But or different pages or whatever themes, I guess. Sorry, guys. So I got this binder, and every dog card that I had, I started sliding in order. But we'll get to the end, and I'll just, as I start pulling more dog cards that I don't have, they'll just be in out of order at the end. And then once I complete it, I'll go ahead and go back and reorganize it. But yeah, I don't know why. I think dog Pokemon are cool. I think it's just the most realistic piece that people would actually have dog Pokemon, because we have dogs now. And I'm a dog person, not a cat person. Not that I'm not a cat person, but I prefer dogs. So yeah. I like this Lillipup, which I usually don't like clay cards. I like the 2D drawn ones, but I really like the way that one came out. Rockruff Howling at the Moon. And like Lycanroc, and you'll see that I'm sticking to dog Pokemon that are under 4s. Like, I know you have like Snubbull and all them, and Smeargle, but I don't know, I didn't like the bipedal feel as much. Gamper. Zacian and Zamazenta, I know are more wolf type, but I feel like they kind of fit. Fido, Dashbun. I like Mabosstiff a lot. I like the concept of Mabosstiff a lot. Just a big hulking dog. The one that I found at my local card shop. He looks mean there. Greavyard and Houndstone. So see here, like I mean, they're the Halloween version, but I pulled these after, so they just slid in, and then we'll go ahead and keep filling in the dog Pokemon here. And then it leads to the last piece, which is something that I kind of hinted on before. Horses and farm based, which I only have horses and sheep at the moment. I had an extra Ponytail, so I threw it in here from my childhood. Rapidash, Mudbray, Mudsdale, Keldeo, which I think this is cool. I feel like there's not too many cards of him. I'm gonna have to look him up. And then we go into Wooloo and like the sheep. I know it's Cottonese cotton Pokemon, right? But he kind of has the vibe of a sheep. Also, we have cotton fields behind our house currently, so just throws in there. Mareep. See, I had Mareep, and I really like this Mareep too. Which is not a first gen, and I have it. Flappy I still kept. Ampharos, bipedal. I kind of like the more classic approach, and the reverse hollow Flappy, which I think I'm actually gonna add chickens on here as well, because my grandpa has chickens recently, and my daughter absolutely loves chickens, and then that's it. Yeah, my daughter loves. My daughter has she's 2.5, and she has no fear whatsoever for animals, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because if a scorpion were to come up, I'm sure she would try and grab it. But she's not scared of, like, let's say the chickens, for example, that my grandpa has, and yeah, so yeah, I think chickens will get out of it, like Torchic, Blaziken, maybe not Blaziken, but we'll see. I'll have to do my research there to see what I add. And I'm just gonna throw up this last one. I think this is my favorite page. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys collect down below. Subscribe if you guys want to kind of just follow along the journey, and as I fill this out and as I open stuff. I won't be, I mean, there's going to be other stuff. It's going to be mostly Pokemon, but from time to time you'll see other items like sports cards or comic books or something. So if you guys want to hang around, and yeah, sounds good. Stay frosty, guys, until the next video. See you guys later.